What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Coin Launch Lounge. If it's your first time coming in, thanks for stopping by. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. Today, guys, we've got Euphoric Bliss in the lounge for an AMA, and Tony Mara, their lead developer. It looks like we've got Wes, and we've got Wen Lambo, and Darren. We've got the whole squad in the house today, guys. Four faces on BSC Coin Launch Lounge first. Welcome to the party, everybody. Nice to see you all. Nice to see you all. Yeah, absolutely.
Glad to finally be in here, right, after all this time.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, it's nice to have you guys. So guys, looking at the website here, let's talk. Tony, I'm going to pass it to you, buddy. You're the CEO here. If you could do me a favor, introduce yourself in a few sentences, and then introduce the project in a few sentences. Sure. I think that's a good start.
Yeah. So I'm Tony Mara. I'm from Buffalo, New York, and I guess if you want to know about me, I'm a sports guy. But long story short, I got into crypto with SafeMoon. I've always been watching it. 29 years old, so I was right in the midst of the big Bitcoin boom when it started. When I was in high school, so I was always tracking that. And but yeah, I've always kind of been just on the edge of the space, and I decided in the last year to just really dive, deep. And I found myself blessed with coming into contact with the right people in the space. So that being said, we have Wes over here, Wes White. He's our CMO. We got Eric Taylor. He's our vice president. And then we have Darren Cook, our chief financial officer. Three gentlemen that have been with me since the beginning that I've spoke with them really before anyone else. And we all decided that this was, they shared the passion for my great idea here. And long story short, we filed. We're a corporation here over at Euphoric Bliss now, and we're just waiting on that paperwork. Paperwork was supposed to come in today. Today's business day 10. We were told 7 to 10 business days. So I was hoping to have it for this AMA, which is why we scheduled for today. But long story short, that'll be posted in our group the day that we get it. So hopefully tomorrow, if not Monday.
Well, we'll accept your imaginary paperwork as paperwork, brother, because I do believe you that you file for a corporation.
Yeah.
Tony, can we talk about the general concept here behind Euphoric Bliss? And what is Euphoric Bliss, and what problem does it solve?
Yeah, so Euphoric Bliss, I guess there's many different aspects of problems that it could potentially be solving. So as far as we go, my vision is to have a true, real life business that intertwines with the crypto space. For me, I thought, well, what could I do to make the space better? And I thought, well, if I ran a crypto like a stock, that shouldn't fizzle out. It shouldn't be like these meme tokens or these shit coins out there, that just go off of hype. We're not a hype coin. I mean, we are. Obviously, we're all hyped for our future, and we're very excited. But we're going off of the fact that we have a real life business. We're going to be selling our infused pre-rolls, which for those of you that don't know, an infused pre-roll is 90% cannabis, which is another word for weed. It's the professional word for weed. And then the other 10% would either be 10% hash or 10% live resin, which is oil, or 10% THCA, which is the strongest extract that you can get from a plant. So it's not your typical joint. This is really going to blow your hair back. It's something that the four of us could share, and we would all be feeling pretty great. That being said, so the two licenses we're applying for in Boston, Massachusetts, which it'll be throughout the whole state, obviously, is our delivery license and our license to buy and sell. In other words, distribute up to 2,000 pounds of cannabis in a year. Now,
I'm in Massachusetts, Tony. I'm in Massachusetts, and for the first time this morning, I was getting off the Mass Pike, and I saw a sign. I think it was for INSA, and the sign was cannabis deliveries. And I'm like, when did that happen?
It's just starting to get passed now. People are just starting it, and they're just starting to see that they can do that. But no one's orchestrating it like I am and like our company is. So my game plan, I say it's my 2 to 5 year plan for one reason. I say 5 years because I know we can do it within 5 years. However, I expect it to be done within 2 years. What that is that I plan on applying for our delivery license, not just in Massachusetts, like these guys are doing. INSA's a great brand, by the way, great flower. Love that company and what they're doing, and hope to work with them and collaborate with them on a product for our future. But I want to have our delivery license in every state that's legal. And, as states, go legal, I will obtain it there. Now, Also, I want to have it in Canada as well. Canada's federally legal. The only thing stopping us from getting to Canada right now is COVID. That's it. I mean, I live in Buffalo. I'm 20 minutes away from Canada. I can drive right across into Ontario, and I mean, it's fully blown, full blown legal. So long story short, also, once we do launch our actual product where you can buy it on our website, we're going to be removing our token tax so that people don't get double taxed. Our state tax and federal tax that'll need to be paid to our government will be factored into our pre-roll price. You're not going to see some added fee after you press the add to cart button, and then you go to checkout. It's all going to be there. So that being said, we're just going to have an LP tax. So every pre-roll, we're also going to have a CBD line too, which we haven't touched on too much in any of our social media or our website a lot. But I mean, that expands our use case tremendously. We'll be available in every household throughout the United States and Canada as well, and then many other countries across the world that have CBD legal, but not THC. So a portion of every sale is going to go straight to our LP. It's going to be an LP tax, if you will, that, even if the customer isn't really into smoking, they still have good incentive, because say we sell 500,000 pre-rolls. I mean, that's a heck of a chunk that's going into our LP. I mean, if we're taking $1 a piece, say like what the percentage is, I mean, it's about $30 for an infused pre-roll. If we're taking $1 out of each one, I mean, and maybe two, whatever it gets decided on, that's a lot of money to get thrown into our LP for people that don't even smoke, so your bag's constantly building on top of other people investing. Also, so we're pairing with BNB, Bitcoin, and USDC on PancakeSwap. And then 5 days after we launch, we're going to be listing on Feg Exchange. We're going to be pairing with Ethereum. So what that also does is that, if the market's going a little crazy, which we know tends to happen from time to time, people can swap on into USDC, maybe just chill out for a minute, and then hop back in. Or when they do go to take a profit, because obviously we know everyone's in this game to make money, they'll be able to look at what token's doing the best and pay the least amount of fees and just get the most bang for their buck back in return. So we're not going to be taxing the hell out of people. I mean, we have things set up so tremendously that it's extremely beneficial to the average holder.
What are you guys raising, Tony?
We are doing 100 BNB to 200 BNB for our soft cap and our hard cap for our private sale. Private sale funds go solely to funding our corporation, to paying for our licenses, and really everything that we need for our business. Our first round of product to get the deals made, and it paid for us obviously obtaining our corporation status as well. And then we're going to have a 250 soft cap, 500 BNB hard cap pink sale. Now the max participation is way different in our public sale versus our private sale. Our private sale, we have it where if you're going to participate and you plan on putting in 4 BNB or more, it's mandatory that you have a phone call with myself, as well as to get on a chat with my teammates as well, so that we know that you share our vision and that it's understood that you're here for the long run. So our max BNB purchase for our pink sale is only going to be 2 or 3 BNB. Right now, it's 20 BNB for our private sale. You can call it a mistake, if you will, but it's just kind of something that, we learned. Some people were comfortable. We only have one person that's vested, and that is 10 BNB and over. I would say about 90% of investors are below 4 BNB, which is kind of the typical investment, if you will. My knowledge wasn't too, I thought some people would be thrilled, but then the more I've seen it, a lot of people are into the shitcoin way, if you will, where they want to get into a whitelist and then get into the sale. One thing before I stop ranting here, but one thing that we take extreme pride in at Euphoric Bliss is the fact that we've raised almost nearly 80 to 100 BNB off of sole word of mouth before we ever did an AMA. So we got almost half of our private sale filled from just, I took a lot of phone calls. Don't get me wrong. I've spoken to everyone that's in our private sale, had a personal conversation, but with word of mouth and everything, that's just been our strongest asset right now.
You're a diligent dude, man. You're a diligent dude. Very diligent. Who else in here?
It took me a long time to get in here, and I mean, I was a pain in the ass, to say the least, right?
Dude, who else in here gets a DM from Tony once a day invited to a VC?
My team does too.
I do.
Real quick, are we recording for the future? Because I know my community is going to love to to listen. You're the man. You're the
Yeah,
man.
yeah, of course. Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I'm
Um,
very, very, very diligent to say the
very
least. So
diligent, very thorough, very thorough, very
I mean,
diligent,
people are
very thorough.
investing their hard-earned money. I mean, just like I mean, it's got to be safe. There's got to be incentive, and I had to make sure that things are being done right. Now, I see you scrolling through our white paper, and I don't mean to, you know, give ourselves be a harsh critic of our own, but that wasn't done by anyone professional. If anyone in this chat hears of anyone that could be of use to help us get that up to par, that'd be great. We did have a professional do our website, but our roadmap was done by a great friend of ours that was just kind of helping us get our stuff together at the beginning. So it doesn't go into crazy depth, but
It's
it's
just a
enough to
start,
give
right?
people the idea right now.
Well, I mean, one thing that's definitely different about the way that you're going about this is, I mean, you guys are obviously doxxed. You
Oh
guys
yeah,
are here like you guys are
nothing
gonna
to
sing me a
hide.
Christmas carol, and I
Yeah.
love it. Right? I
Yeah, if you
absolutely
want to,
love
we
it.
will. That's what it is.
I don't know. Looking at Darren's face, he's not letting you sign him up for a Christmas carol.
It's
No,
his
No,
season, not at
tis
all.
the season. He'll come
I
in
want to hear
boxing
Wes's
for
voice. Damn, brother, you got probably got pipes on you, bro. No, but yeah, one thing is that you guys are definitely doing it in a different way, which I think is the way of the future, which is building
I sure hope.
building the trust amongst the investor before you take the money from the investor, right? So
Oh
I think that's
yeah.
important. But I want to talk about your token allocation. Is
Yeah.
this still updated here on the white paper? Is this still the way that the tokens will be allocated?
Yeah, heck
Uh,
yeah. So we plan on doing that exactly. If there's any flaws or anything that you suggest, I mean, we are open to all constructive criticism. Anything that you think may be able to be tweaked to be more beneficial for our community, let me know, man. Anyone, we're always open, but right now that's the game plan. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, sounds good. Um, there's a lot of money in this business, man. There's a lot of money in this
A
business. You see it.
lot. That's yeah.
Yeah.
Look at I grow. I know. So a good friend of mine, he actually graduated from MIT, which Massachusetts Institute of Technology, one of the most prestigious, if not the most prestigious college in this country. Um, he started an infused pre-roll company. He's kicking ass, and just I've been watching him for a couple of years, and he's just living the life. I mean, he goes back and forth from Hawaii. He's a surfer. He's really smart, but it's just he knows his stuff. He's done research and he's really into psychedelics a bit more than I am per se, but not that I'm against it, but um, just to see the right people in this industry and then see how successful his was and knowing who I am. I mean, this is no shot to him by any means, but I know I can blow it out of the water. I know that with my hard work and then with my good team and my community and the foundation that we have built, we're gonna kick some serious ass.
You're also the first one to market that has no physical location.
Yep. That has
Yeah.
a physical location, right?
Well, you guys will have a physical location for people to
Oh, we
go in
do.
and purchase?
Oh, well, so I'll let Wes chime in real quick. Let me answer that. So we have our office. We're at 90 Canal Street in Boston, Massachusetts. We're right down the street from TD Garden. So that is our actual physical office. Um, I mean, if you want to set up a meeting, I'll meet you there. You just tell me when. But long story short, we don't have a physical spot where we're selling it, but we're going to be selling on our website. And then so real quick to touch on how an infused pre-roll company works. So what we're paying for is our product, the grass. We're paying for the packaging, and then we're paying for the label that goes on it. The people that we collaborate with, the companies and facilities, they already have all the machines to make it all happen there. They have all the product there. They're just benefiting from us buying their because we only need the shake. There's A buds and B buds, and those are the beautiful, pretty looking buds. We just need shake for pre-rolls, the stuff that sells cheap. It's all the same quality still, it's the same THC contents, came from the same plant. Um, so we need the shake, and then everything gets taken care of, and I sell it in bulk to a dispensary. Then aside from that, every product, every deal we make, we're going to have a set amount of bulk that's put aside to be sold on our website, obviously to our community here, and so on and so forth. Everyone that's in our crypto. So
So Euphoric Bliss won't have a physical location, but it will be in physical locations.
yes, exactly. We
Who's
do plan
bringing
on
that?
possibly down the road having a dispensary.
Nah, fuck
That's not
that,
out of
bro. You
the.
don't need a dispensary.
No,
Keep
we
it
don't. It's a lot of
keep it to the white
overhead.
delivery vans, brother. Who makes more
Yep.
money? Who makes
Well,
more
see,
money?
I have a mobile app that I've been looking at a little bit too. So that's going to be something that will be unveiled. I haven't really talked to my team even about this too much, to be honest with you. It's more news to them, but it's coming. There's a lot in the work. I mean, we plan on being the Uber of the cannabis industry, and there's some serious money to be made there. So,
The
um,
Uber of the cannabis industry, huh?
oh yeah. Well, you think about it.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
thinking about it.
But
No, it's a lot of money, brother. That's what I'm thinking about. It's a lot of money.
yeah.
There's
Yeah,
no
heck
question.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of single parents out there that can't go to a dispensary, because they have their kid 24/7, and then when they're not, they got to work, for that to be so stressful when they could just order it online, just know like, all right, after I get the kids to bed tonight, I know I'm at least going to have my pre-roll outside waiting for me. Like,
So what's
some
the
people
legalities
even,
here with the
it's,
deliveries, right? Because you
it's,
can't do it
yeah,
USPS. It's private courier only.
yep. Yep, private courier only. That's right. No USPS. None of that's allowed right now. Obviously, not federally legal, so federal businesses can't be in it. Can't work with federal banks. Bank of America. I mean, they called me right after I filed for our corporation, and they're like, "Oh, you're in cannabis." They're like, "Yeah, I can refer you to places." And I was like, "I'm good." I was like, "I already knew this. I just didn't want to be rude and push you out the phone." So but yeah, as far as legalities go, we actually have a lawyer on retainer that we paid for, that we have 24/7 around the clock. So any questions that we need or that our community has where they're a little concerned or something, I mean, I pretty much we as a team, we have the answer for the most part. But if it's something that maybe we haven't thought about too much or gone in depth, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. We can get that answered. So
Interesting. So, I think this token's obviously very different from your general Binance Smart Chain token.
way different.
You
Has a use
you are
case.
not, yeah, has a use case, which is a start, ladies and gentlemen. That is a start for a
Hmm.
proper shitcoin. You must have use case, and for a super proper shitcoin, you must have delivery. Okay, and but with every step of legitimacy, you lose moon boys. Okay, it's a really 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 fucked up ass backwards system that we have here in Binance
Hmm.
Smart Chain.
Oh yeah.
Everything that you do to make your project more legit and more long term, you lose X's out of the gate, which means you start to lose a little bit of interest, right?
Yep.
You start to lose the people that are just going to buy the token at presale to sell the token after presale, which is a double-edged sword, right? Because
Yeah.
if you have a hard time filling the presale, it kills your momentum after launch. And if you fill the presale with a bunch of moon boys, they're going to pump and dump you. Um,
Yep.
which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Let them pump and dump your chart if you're going to bring real utility. What I want to
Oh
know,
yeah.
okay, how I know that the community wants to know this. How the physical sales coming from your the business side of this, how are the
Yep.
physical sales coming back and benefiting the token? Is the LP tax?
Yeah, yep. The LP tax is exactly it. So every time that someone buys, I mean, there's just a portion of sales, and I mean that'll be decided by the community, which is how a lot of things are done. And then like I said, it's not going to be just pre rolls. We're going to have edibles. We're going to have CBD. There's going to be quite a line, and to touch on another thing, what's it called? Infusion doesn't stop with just pre rolls. I mean, we can infuse edibles as well. It doesn't have to be just CBD edibles. These can all, I mean, there's many different byproducts to come of it, and to float everyone's boat, if you will. So it's not, and every single thing that gets sold that is Euphoric Bliss is going to have a portion go right to our LPs, which is putting more money into our holders' pockets. Um, but yeah, that's truly the
Which
game plan.
incentivizes people to hold, which is good.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
a long-term vision here. It's a long-term vision because you're
Oh
talking a
yeah.
2 to 5 year plan. 2 year you can do it in. 5 year, you can
Yeah.
do it in, which is a fair way to look
Oh
at
yeah.
it.
We'll get all
Um,
the delivery licenses, but I mean, our licenses, we're going to have them within the next, I mean, 3 to 4 months. It's really, once we get this paperwork in the next couple of days, we submit our licenses right away that day, and then it's up to the state. As soon as I mean, they're done and they process it and accept us, then we're in business. I mean, but after those licenses are sent out, our applications. I mean, then we're going to be talking to businesses and getting everything set up so that the day that we do get our approval letter, we're making those phone calls and saying, let's go, we can get this done. 24 hours later, we have our first product, if that. So we're very proactive. We've knocked off quite a few things on our roadmap, and we plan on continuing to do so. So I think that's the best thing too, is our roadmap's very realistic. It's more than achievable, and we've been doing a great job so far.
What do we have for questions, guys? CBD is a big business too, not to be overlooked. A lot easier to get into.
I got a question.
I know a couple MLMers that made millions in
up,
CBD
Yellow?
business. Yellow Tiger, brother, the stage is yours, my friend.
Yeah, man, it's been a minute. How are you?
Hey, yeah, I'm doing okay, Tony. And you?
Good, man. Good.
Cool.
It's good
cool.
to see you.
Hey, oh, likewise. Hey, so I had a question here. So just getting some clarification. So whenever a person purchases one of the pre-rolls, a portion is going to go into the liquidity for the token. Now, is that only if the customer that's buying the pre-roll is using the token to buy it, or does this matter if they're just using just regular cash? Is there like a way to facilitate that, or is it just only if they're using the token?
Cash isn't an option, to be honest with you. The only option is using this, and that's why another point that you're bringing me to is why we're pairing with tokens or coins like Bitcoin, Ether. So what that does is it really dummies down the buying process for the person that's not into crypto, but they want to have our pre-roll. So by doing that, say, a lot of us know what Cash App is, right? So Cash App, you can buy Bitcoin. You can buy it right there. All you have to do is go and make a trust wallet or a MetaMask. Send your Bitcoin right over to that. Swap right into Euphoric Bliss. Send it. You got your pre-roll.
Brother, you deserve a round of applause. You deserve Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony just came in here and got a round of applause because that is. I'm curious. I'm looking at these liquidity pools. Like, fuck, is this guy doing in my head? Like, I'm thinking there's got to be a reason for this. And I was just about to ask you about payment methods.
Many reasons.
Next question. And so, if Euphoric Bliss is your only payment method, obviously there's a major paywall there. Like there's a major barrier stopping consumers from buying your products.
Yep.
I think even with Bitcoin and Ether and having all these different liquidity pools, it's still going to be a problem. 100% still going to be a problem, and it's going to limit
people only
growth.
Trust Bitcoin. The older generation, that's all that they hear is Bitcoin. When you go and talk to someone, they don't know what anything else is besides Bitcoin, unless you're like us and you're into the space and you're trying to find more information and get into it. So for me, that's been a big thing the last 6 months, is figuring out how could the average person go and buy cannabis, because that's a very big issue. Is banking. There's companies that just have money sitting because they can't work with federal banks. They can't. I thought this was a joke when I first heard it, and then I went out to California and in Massachusetts, and
it's very real.
Yeah, it is. So this is also going to be used for onboarding too. If businesses want to be able to have access to their cash, they can swap in Euphoric Bliss. We'll know what's going on, but we're going to take a percentage of that for our LP as well. So if they have $1 million that they're like, dude, I'll give you 100,000, or I'll give you, maybe not 100, but maybe I'll give you 50 grand if you can help me transfer this around so that I can get it to my bank account. They can do that through us if they feel the need to. They can go and put that money in. It's not up to me what happens from there on. If there's that time where some of our people take some money, they don't really care because they're getting their money, money that they've had sitting that they can't use. So then also being able to, we can be used as a payment method essentially too, if you really think about it. It's as simple as a QR code. Each business has their QR code set up. They can accept Euphoric Bliss for their products if they choose to. And then, excuse me, when it comes time to take taxes, you just simply have to be on top of how much product you sold. And that's where someone like Darren comes into play, having a good finance person where they can manage your books and make sure that the right amount of taxes is taken out. You take that portion, you set it aside, and you pay your taxes. There's a will, there's a way.
And this is first to roll out in Massachusetts, correct?
Yes, first in Massachusetts. I've already spoken with a few dispensaries, and people are excited. We've got a lot going.
Dude, I think about it, right? These guys can't use anything federally insured. So why not crypto? And it's obviously the barrier to entry that would limit their customer base, right?
That's
if they
where
accept
Bitcoin and Ether is, dude, and Coinbase. A lot of people know about Coinbase too. You can just load your, your credit card or your bank card up there. You can buy your Bitcoin or your Ether, and you can send it. I mean, it's really Bitcoin and Ether. People haven't thought about that. And QR codes. It makes things a lot easier than using a POS system and paying all this money. Adding additional overhead and this and that. It's just not necessary.
You guys gonna have live support?
Oh yeah, of course, all of that. I mean, we're a corporation. We're doing everything to a T the way that it needs to be done.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a 1-800 company in the Coin Launch Lounge. These guys
Never know.
1-800 number.
We will
I have
have
a question.
Yeah, Michael.
Yeah, what's up, man?
How are you guys doing? I really support you guys' product or a whole idea, you can say. I'm from California originally.
Nice.
But my quick question was, in the crypto sphere, it's very delicate trying to make your business an LLC or corporation, because as soon as you do that and you peg it to your crypto, now you just became a security. Like the whole reason why XRP has been in this bind for the last couple of years.
Yep.
Is this corporation or LLC that you guys are establishing towards the crypto or towards the business side of what you guys are selling, as far as the products?
As far as product goes, it's definitely our corporation we're gonna be here for years and years to come. I mean, that's a given. Now I have actually Wes is very well versed me in that, and he's asked that same question a couple of times to me. And this is something that we've actually ran by our lawyer too. And I mean, that's where, there's XRP. I know some people that have been in XRP and baby XRP too that have been doing things a certain way, if you will. However, here, like I said, I did run it by our lawyer, and there's really no hurdles as long as we're paying our taxes and we're showing that like we did this amount of sales, and then this is what the tax equivalency would be towards that amount of profit, for our margin. Then that's what we're gonna pay. It's really, they want to make sure that they're getting the money that they're owed. As long as the IRS is getting their money, then there's really no issues. I mean, we're not going to be looking to save an extra, $10,000 so that we can not pay taxes. I mean, we've come this far. We're not going to just do something silly like that to devalue ourselves, if you will.
Yeah, I have a follow-up question to that.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, or had that same question, because if I understood you correct, the money you guys are raising in the private sale is used to, for lack of a better term, fund the corporation, correct?
Exactly.
So, like, from just looking at it from that stance, that definitely sounds to me like you're raising funds like a typical, security, regular company would when they're trying to raise funds through, securities.
Yep.
So that the idea is great. What you guys are going to do, I know it's going to work. My only concern is that potential regulatory question mark.
Yeah.
Relates
that's
to.
why we have the lawyer, man. And that's why we have Darren. He's got his degree in finance, and I have actually two of my very best friends that are CPAs too. So we have a great finance team and a great legal team, which is what we need for obviously this industry and for crypto too. So we're staying on top of that as best as we can. We always will.
So are you saying at a high level the lawyer was like, hey, okay, you guys are raising money in the private, you're doing a private sale, raising money for your token. At that point, that token is not a security? Is that kind of the guidance you guys have?
We're not making money off of it. Essentially it's just like you making money right now. If you were to go and buy a token and make money, this is not business income, if you will. This is solely something that we could report as personal income, if you will, and say that this is what I made this personally, and this is what I'm using to fund my company. And then, if worst comes to worst, I just pay personal tax income on that. That's it.
Legally,
and not the company. So that's smart to keep it separate from the company, actually, so that we don't get further
Okay.
taxed.
Legally, it's as if you pick some random smart contract off of PooCoin and, hey, this is going to be our token for processing our payments legally, right? Because there's no
Yeah,
real
yeah.
tie, no
Yeah.
regulation. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
the
I hear
concept that you're getting across, because the token's not a revenue generating thing for the corporation. The token is just a payment mitigator, correct?
Yeah, literally. It's something to help you guys. I mean, we have it so set up where it's just money getting redirected towards our holders, where it's just, I mean, it's crazy. You know, I mean, this could be something that we're like, oh, I'm going to take this for myself. You know, this could be directed towards me or towards us, and we can make more bank. You know, that's what most people in like the shit coins would do, I would say. But us,
Well, they would
it's
just rug it.
not. Exactly, they would just rug it after, you know, hitting whatever. Yeah, it's just not the way to do things, and not how we're gonna do things. So
Okay, cool.
Interesting.
Thanks, Tony. I appreciate that.
anytime,
Thanks.
anytime.
Thanks for the question, Cream Crypto. Appreciate it. Great
Yeah.
question.
Good to see you.
Um,
I have
So you
another
can start-
question.
yeah, Tiger, please.
So now I'm starting to understand this more, because I hadn't really, I'll admit, Tony, I've caught bits and pieces of things that you had mentioned. I didn't fully connect things, like, you know, as I'm hearing
Yeah,
now.
you
So
had been around since the beginning. You were one of the ones that was almost sitting up here with us, actually. You and Darren and a couple of your buddies.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I've been so really from just like what you're saying, is that the whole token is just basically to get past or through a way where you can actually make more convenient transactions for the pot business. Essentially, it's
Well, I wouldn't say that. It's just, I guess that's an expansion of our use case, if you will. That's something that can be done. If people want to use us solely as a payment system, that can, I mean, I could very well arrange that to happen, and that would benefit our holders tremendously. However, this is truly our actual business. I mean, Euphoric Bliss Incorporated is a true thing. That is, it's not happening. It has happened. That's what we are, and that's, you're looking at it. That being said, I found it to be most beneficial for our holders and our customers if they could only pay in our token. If I were to say that people could come and pay in cash, then people would be like, well, why? Like, that doesn't really entice me as much, you know. Then if they don't have to use this, then how am I going to benefit, you know? But people do have to use our token, so, and they're going to want our product.
now from all the transactions will be building liquidity. Is the whole point too, is to get it really filled up with liquidity where it more stabilizes, versus like how you see where things really kind of swing all over the place in BSC?
Yeah, I mean, we do expect it to be somewhat stable, but however, with that being said, that means that once it gets stable, I mean, there's obviously people buying and taking money, but let's see, adding to the LP, what that does is, I mean, it really just creates more incentives. It's us not being greedy, if you will. I mean, it's different and looks different because we're actually not sitting here and just taking all the money for ourselves on like a majority of projects. So I mean, really, it's just, yeah, I mean, I couldn't say it any better. It's just us, in a sense, donating some of our profits towards the people that have believed in us all along, and kind of just like giving back in a sense, you know?
Guys, can I
Okay.
jump in with a question, please?
Milk.
What's up?
Welcome
How
to
are
the
we
floor.
doing, guys?
Take it away.
Guys, I appreciate you all doxing and being here with us live. I've just got a few questions, because fundamentally you are a business. You're approaching this like a business. You're covering your asses. Your biggest
Yeah.
hurdle is obviously the payment process in between getting customers to pay with crypto. But my main question to you is, if you are approaching this like a business, what is your predicted turnover for your first, second, and third year?
Our predicted turnover, that's a little tough right now because we don't have the, I guess I would say, the final numbers. You know, once we get our first, I guess, batch out, if you will, we'll be able to see what the profit margin should be each time that we make a sale, and what it would take to get us to certain goals that will be set within us as a company.
I mean, that can be scaled up from from simple math anyway. So if you've got an idea of how much that is going to cost for your first batch, you can cost that in and scale that up. So have you got to give me some rough numbers, give me some rough figures of where you're going to be.
Here you go. So what an infused pre-roll costs is about $30 in US dollars. What it should cost to make all the tubes and the labels, I mean, we're talking pennies. So if we're talking product, I expect us not to be over a $5 I guess threshold for having to actually put the product out, because we're going to be buying in bulk. So that's a great turnover as far as profit goes.
And you have your tax, right?
Yeah. Oh hell yeah. Yep.
Brutal tax there.
Everything.
Tax is more than the cost of the product.
When you buy a $60 eighth, it's about $72 after tax. So how does how does the shipping get incorporated into your sort of final costing? We'll take care of shipping. Shipping's not going to be something that people have to pay for. It's going to be within the state too, so we're talking hardly anything.
Okay, so at this stage,
and then we'll have our delivery service too. So
okay, that's cool. That's all
area. Yeah.
So your scalability is based on the reach that you've got to that area. Do you have an idea of your target market for that area in terms of numbers of people that are smoking?
I mean, Massachusetts is crazy.
I live there, Milky.
Yeah,
I live there. I'm telling you. You go to a dispensary here, bro. It's a fucking revolving door, and they have it dummy proof. Everything is labeled. Everything is labeled from the second you pull into every cone is fucking labeled. You're walking up and it's telling you.
That's funny you mentioned cones because I go to Cannon Provisions. That's in Lee, Massachusetts. It's right on the border of New York and Massachusetts, and they literally have cones every time.
And Milky, business is booming, brother.
Pick up orders or ordering right then and there. And there's really no infused pre-rolls in Massachusetts. Just to throw that out there, there's Nature's Heritage, and then there's one other company, and they are not in very many dispensaries. Out in California, infused pre-rolls are a little bit more popular, but I mean, they look like crap, to be honest with you. There's usually like keef all over them, and they just don't smoke right. They'll boat, and
very ugly.
As clean as can be. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, like the reason for my questions is because we don't have this here in the UK, and obviously this has been.
Yeah, it's not legal yet in the UK, correct?
No, it's not. It's not, and we understand the market behind it, and at the end of the day, it's a massive market, and I understand there's a piece of the cake for everyone. So based on what you've just said there, and enlightened me with Brian that it's so accessible, if you can get it from certain places very, very easily. What's your whole niche is delivery then? So apart from, let's take away just the actual aspects of buying it with crypto, what do you bring into the table that's going to pull people away from that market where they can walk out and get it in the street, or, from a vending machine? Like you must have some sort of USP to incentivize people not to even bother going out anywhere. We'll deliver it to you in a better state, in better, I'm just interested in how you're going to take this market. Take the whole market.
Well, you broke up a little bit there. I mean, think about this though. Think about how when this is federally legal. I mean, people at parties, they go out, they drink for sports games and everything. I mean, imagine having a party of joints catered, or a platter of joints catered to a party, or infused pre-rolls. That you have 20 or 30 people getting together for an event, or maybe a time of the year, and I mean, there's traditions to be had here. There's Christmas traditions, Thanksgiving, smoking those joints. I mean, there's friends that I do that with before holidays. And I mean, so what you were asking, to make sure I understand, is how am I going to get people to want to purchase through our delivery? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if it's as accessible as it sounds like from what Brian just made there.
You ever order food and then you find yourself waiting for an hour and a half? So then you're like, oh, I should have ordered from that place. We're that place that you should have ordered from. We're the place that's going to get it to you fastest. We're going to get you that order. We're going to get it right. And we're not going to mess things up. And if something gets messed up, we're going to take care of you. And we're not going to say it's your fault or this and that. I mean, customer service goes a long way too, on top of just having a good product,
Yeah, I agree.
And it's not going to look like the rest. I just ripped through the States on a bit of a road trip coming back home up to Alberta. And there is pre-rolls and like the infused pre-rolls out there, and like there's
Yep.
I don't know. In my opinion, there's nothing to them. They're sloppy. The packaging's bad. They were loose. You know, there's a whole presentation aspect to it as
Yeah.
well.
And the logo, not to mention, Eric. I mean, if you think about it and you look at our logo and just in general and how that's going to look on like a doob tube, like a joint case, it's going to look wild. It's going to look sick.
Nasty.
It's just so much more eye appealing, you know, to the average person that's walking by. They're like, oh, that looks good. You know, I mean, it really is. And having that wrapped on one of those joint holders is going to be it's going to be beautiful.
Guys, just a quick one to throw an idea out there, because like I say, I don't fully get the industry because it's legalized where it's not here. Like from my understanding of weed is, you know, that it's expensive. People want the best that they can get for the best price.
Yeah.
Now, if you've got the ability of buying through crypto and you know you're moving through a different payment gateway, have you not thought about if you've got the ability to margin and provide a better product or a more products compared to your competitors to take that market share? So your competitors are selling one for $5. Have you got in your margin to give two for $5? Just to pull that initial market in, to pull that, because once you start taking market share like that, that's how you
first delivery free type shit. I see what you're saying. The promotions, the first delivery free promotion.
I mean, there will be incentives in regards to buying product off of the website, say like down with the EBT or with the NFT projects that Tony will touch up on here in a bit. But there's definitely going to be incentive to be picking stuff up like that.
I get what Milk is saying. I get what Milk is saying, and he said, "Do you guys have the budget to? Will you have the budget to run like a big first touch customer marketing campaign? Because this industry, I mean, it's like even before this was legal and it was a street thing, right? Stoners like reliability, and they like knowing that they can get it when they want it, right? So having that one person that's always reliable, you'll always switch to the more reliable setup, right? You're going to switch to the guy that is late with your drugs. You know, and I'm not saying weed's a drug, right? That's a whole different fucking debate. But I'm just saying, like in general, when you take it to a street level and you look at a drug dealer, who's the drug dealer that wins? He's the guy that's the reliable, consistent, on time, and competitively priced person. And so you guys can provide that experience once. Yeah, exactly. Let's say you guys run a campaign where somebody gets a free pre-roll, right? Somebody gets a free one their first time ever downloading and signing up with the app. What Milk is saying is, can you afford to run a campaign like that? Because if you run a campaign like that, then people will come back over and over, and the lifetime value of that customer will outweigh. But the upfront cost of that campaign will be tremendous.
Yeah,
that's fine,
that's
though.
what I'm saying.
So I actually, my uncle owns Regina's Pizza in Boston. So if you know, you're from Massachusetts. That's the oldest, most popular pizzeria there, and it's the pizza of the Red Sox too. So I mean, I'm not here to flex or anything, but I've got the right connections to make sure that we're out there.
Regina's like the chain.
Yes.
Like that's in every mall
and
and
Boston Red Sox.
Holy
that's
shit,
at
brother!
Hall and the Quincy. That's at the Quincy Market. Yeah, on Boylston Street across from Fenway. That's what I'm talking about.
Bruh,
it's my favorite pizza, bro. No, it's not. But it's top five.
It's very good.
It's
Dave Portnoy's favorite pizza. So.
No shit. It got the. It
has the highest rating on Barstool on the one bite. So.
Holy. Flash B, you got a question?
Yeah, I have a question. Like, I want to know if, would these products be shipped internationally? For instance, let's say someone from Nigeria wants to get a product. Like, how quick can the product get to the person here?
So.
Or is it just basic? Are you guys just doing it, for?
Yeah, her question was, can it be shipped internationally? And if it can be shipped internationally, what's the timeline on that?
So, to my understanding, CBD can be shipped internationally. THC cannot. THC cannot be sent through the mail. Do people do it? Of course they do. Am I going to do it? I am not. Now, we can get you your CBD and everything. Anytime you want to come visit or come into the States, I'll make sure that you're taken care of, obviously. But as far as CBD shipping and getting our product over to you, it's no different than the standard time, just like any other company would be, because obviously we'll be using the same avenues. So what is that? Usually 7 to 10 days. Sometimes it can be even sooner, though. I think China's like 10 to 14 maybe, but yeah, it should be within a week to get international, to say the least.
The reason for that, for those of you that don't understand Splash, maybe if you don't get that, it's because marijuana is a scheduled drug in the United States federally. Every state makes their own laws, and the logistics providers in the United States, being the USPS, UPS, and FedEx, the big ones, are federally backed. I mean, FedEx is privately owned, but there's still a
You're
federally
working
backed
for the
industry.
government if you're working for the Postal Service. So you're a government employee. One of my very best friends is a Postal Service carrier, and he's like, dude, if someone assaults us or anything or like tries to do something, he's like, it's literally a felony. He's like, they're getting a minimum of 2 years in a federal penitentiary. God, I can't speak right now. Penitentiary. Jeez. But yeah, they're going to jail.
Yeah. And so because it's federally legal and those companies are federally backed companies, they cannot ship anything with THC, the active ingredient. So to answer that question a little bit more in depth.
I have another question.
Otherwise, if it was legal, we'd get it to you as soon as we could.
Michael?
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Anytime,
Michael, you have a question?
Yeah, appreciate it, sir. Yes, Brian. Hey, have you guys heard of the glass company out there that's sticking each one of their tobacco pieces to an NFT? And each one of their pieces, glass pieces, is considered a mint piece because they pegged it to an NFT. Have you guys ever thought about partnering with an NFT project in the future?
Well, we actually have our own NFT project that's been getting developed for quite some time, over the last month or two. It hasn't been anything too crazy, but we plan on having I would say probably about 8,000 to 10,000 NFTs, project like that. And what we're going to do is it's going to be tiers, and each NFT, like, there's going to be tiers of discounts, if you will, that you'll be able to get on our product, which is going to really incentivize things and make the NFTs a little bit more, oh gosh, what's the valuable, if you will, because say if you have like an NFT that's getting you 15% discount, that's pretty solid, 5, 10, 15 or so on. Yeah, I mean, we have definitely thought about that. It's a very good idea and something that we look to take advantage of in the future.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
And then on the second note of that, since you guys are making thousands and thousands of your own NFT, are you guys going to create and build your own ecosystem so people will be able to mint those NFTs, or are those just NFTs that are going to be only usable? Got you.
So that's what our actual NFT artist, he has the capabilities of putting the minting function on our website. So it's beautiful. Like I said, is there's just so many things that are going on behind the scenes that people, I guess some fail to see, some do see it, and that's why people aren't complaining in our community though too, because we're always going. There's always something that we're working on, and that's why we have our two scheduled video chats and voice chats for our team each week, so that we're obviously, like I said, we hold each other accountable, and we make sure that we're doing things the right way and that things are getting done. We're meeting our daily goals, which are propelling us towards our big goals, which obviously, we go daily, weekly, monthly, and then we have our yearly. We're just really trying to stay on top of everything, and there's a lot of moving parts, a lot more than any other project, I can say.
And very focused on doing it correct the first time, and it takes longer to do something correctly, right? But like Tony said, we're not having we don't have flack or nothing in the group, because we are putting out updates with what's going on. You know, the next big thing is as soon as we have our paper copies for our corporation, like you know. But yeah, no, we're not cutting corners. We're not trying to do any of that stuff. We want to make sure that we're doing it right the first time. We're trying to show our community that it can be done. Because I mean, we've all been screwed over before. We've all been rugged. I don't like it. I don't think anybody likes getting rugged. So we just want to make sure that, like, you know, our investors have the confidence that to know that we have their best intentions going.
Awesome. Yeah, that seems to be the new way of all the projects on the Binance Smart Chain. So that's a great business strategic idea, and you guys will be very successful doing that. I can promise you guys that. But kind of going back to the NFTs, when you guys mint these things, and why I'm asking, because NFTs is going to be really huge, and if you guys are integrating this into a process of where you can actually purchase your items, that's going to be tremendously huge. Now, will these NFTs be able to be, I guess you can say,
traded
markets as well, or are they only going to be applicable to your ecosystem for your products?
The phone kind of cut out right when you were right in the middle of saying, will they be applicable to, so I missed that right before you said the other markets.
Apologize. Yeah, my work Wi-Fi is not the best.
You're good.
Will it be just applicable to your ecosystem, or can we sell this on OpenSea's?
Oh no, we'll be on OpenSea.
Magic Eden.
110% going on OpenSea.
Okay, awesome.
For sure. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a must. You know, I mean, that just creates so much exposure, especially for all of you that are holding it too. And then in turn, I mean, that's obviously gonna, you know, there's a lot of people on OpenSea that are into NFTs that will in turn get to see our actual token aside from just the NFT. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. I mean, it's awesome, to be honest with you. So yeah.
Thank you for the answer. Yeah, it's great news. Come from an NFT project, so I'm very interested in your project, right?
Oh, nice.
And you know, so that was one of the main things. Because I'm thinking now, like, yeah, I'm gonna buy like 20 of your NFTs. But the main answer to that was, is it, you know, only good on your ecosystem, or can we actually cross-chain this and, you know, maybe sell it down the road? Because that's why you buy NFTs early, to save them for years and then let go of them later.
Yeah, heck yeah. I mean, that's why you buy into tokens too, I guess, right? Buy in, hold them, and hopefully make a nice.
Who are you kidding? Nobody in Binance Smart Chain buys anything to hold it anymore. Yeah. It's got to be a certain type of project, which is the project that you guys are eyeing.
Yeah, we're trying to change all that, Brian. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I see one major issue here. I see one major. Okay, it's not really a major problem, but it's a problem that I see, and it's that you chose the ticker EBT, even though in Massachusetts the food stamps program.
Federally,
is it all federal? It's EBT. Yeah. Federal?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's hysterical.
Yeah, but there's going to be overlap there. If you tell people they get paid EBT, you're going to have a bunch of people with food stamps trying to go to your website and buy weed, bro. They're going to think you take EBT.
And you're so right. I didn't even think about that till now.
What a sick deal.
Yeah,
you can buy with food stamps right now.
I loved it, to be honest with you. I mean, but that can be changed, you know? I mean,
yeah,
it could be we'll be EBI, you know, Euphoric Bliss Incorporated is what we'll end up switching to.
All right, yeah, I see EBT. I think it's hilarious too. It's pretty funny.
I know.
Well, we with EBT, but guess what? For scalability reasons, the joke needs to go away. I think.
Yeah.
I think the joke should die. But it's a good joke. It's a good joke. What else we got for questions, guys? We're running out of time here. We are out of time, but I'm enjoying this. So
yeah.
What else we got for community questions? Oh, somebody wants to know, is there still a private sale open that they can contribute to?
Private sale is open right now. We're more than, I'm not sure where it's at. I haven't been to my computer. We had an AMA right before this at 2:00 with Crypto Pickles, and it's just been chaos. It's just been moving and moving and moving. So, you know, we regrouped, we took a breath, we had a little team talk, and then we hopped right into this AMA. So, I mean, we're just, you know, we're moving to say the least. So there's some room left in private sale for sure. It is it's pinned in our chat, in our main chat. And I just ask everyone that when you participate, at least just shoot me a DM. Let me know that you sent it over. Because when I do go and open up my computer, I'm gonna just double check everything, and I like to verify with everyone, obviously. So, but yeah, there's a private sale, and then I will. I'm cool to match your giveaway. What were you doing? You're doing $50 for the giveaway. I'll throw in 50 to go on top of that to anyone.
Sounds good, brother. We'll do it. We'll do $100 giveaway. Why not?
Yeah.
Do $100. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
Well, guys,
I had one more question, Brian, if there's
Mike.
enough time.
Oh yeah, not launch from private, Tiger. Launches after pre-sale. They do want to do a pre-sale also. Next question for you guys is about launch. But Michael, before you lose your train of thought.
Sure.
Yeah, this goes towards like the payment methods, and maybe I've missed it because I did step away from the desk for a little bit.
You're good, man.
But
You're
we're
good.
just going to have some sort of, and I got this idea from Brian, by the way, because we're on Brian's AMA just this last week.
Okay.
Are you guys going to have some sort of like swap or wallet method on your site? Because that's something we went and talked to our devs about that we integrated, because what we're trying, it's trying to make it simple for the customers. And I know a lot of people aren't into crypto, and especially people that dabble in this type of medicine.
But they'll go on the website, like you're about.
Yes, and so you guys are going to have some.
There you go. You're gone, Michael.
Yeah, your mic dropped again. But yeah,
Stripe
so
to your credit card system, because that's something we did to our platform, and I didn't hear that from you guys. So I was worried how you're going to really build that bridge of of accessibility of the non-crypto people to bringing them into your kind of crypto world of getting this medicine.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so that is like I said, but I know obviously you've been in and out, but we're paired with Bitcoin and Ether for that reason. It really simplifies things. It dummies it down and removes an exchange from ever being needed. And that's why we're, like I said, that's why we're paired. We have BNB, Bitcoin, USDC, and then Ether. Us that know crypto, we know how easy it is to go and use an exchange and to do all these steps to exchange tokens into what we want, and how to maneuver throughout the space. To those people that are, maybe you're meeting them at the bar and they're like, what is that you're looking at? Or they want to, strike up some conversation. You're like, oh, dude, like, Bitcoin, all you got to do is go and buy some of that, send it here, and you're golden. I mean, it's really dummied down.
So how is that going to work with somebody that just wants to buy like 2 pre-rolls? That's going to pay $15, but then have to pay $15 in gas fees or $13 in Bitcoin transaction fees. Have you guys thought about maybe using Solana or Phantom or XLM or XRP, other currencies with a lot lower GUIs?
Actually, we do not need that. So, with that being said, when our product goes live, we're gonna be removing our taxes from our token, and then there's just gonna be an LP tax. That's it. So there's not going to be double tax. There's not going to be all the high gas and so on. It'll just be, just the LP tax. And that's going to be decided by our community though. So does that kind of answer?
Yeah, that's wonderful news, because my whole thing, because I'm going to invest in you guys. I'm going to contact you. Hopefully I get a private sales spot. I'm going to buy you guys some of your NFTs. Because, I'm from California, from the Silicon Valley area. I see huge potential in this, but the biggest thing, which was kind of the roadblock, is when you said Ethereum and Bitcoin, when people trade those things, those are the 2 highest fee cryptos, you can say, right? And if people are paying with fiat and they're paying $20 for 2 pre-rolls, they wouldn't want to pay an extra $15 to $18 in those fees. So what you guys are doing is perfect then, by dropping all the taxes and just covering the LP. It's beautiful.
It would eliminate all incentive, for anyone to ever use our token. And that being said, too, what was I going to say about our pre-rolls? I just had it right at the front of my head and I forgot. One of you boys want to touch on this, because I I just lost my train of thought on what I was going to say. Back to what Michael said.
No, I definitely understand it though. You guys are definitely establishing it so the bridge of the simplicity is being there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it needs to be simple down. So that's what I was saying is that if we don't remove that tax, man, then people would be getting double tax, and it wouldn't make sense. So it's a $30 infused pre-roll. So if someone's paying, what it would end up being like $35, $40, they're paying, a crazy amount in tax, and then it's just like, because when they're buying in, then a certain amount would get taken. When they go to send, another certain amount would get taken. I mean, that would just really defeat the purpose. And why would anyone even, no matter how great our product is, it would make.
Here's what we got to do, guys.
So
we gotta close the AMA down. I got one more question for you, Tony. We ask every project that comes through here in the Coin Launch Lounge, brother. There are thousands of active sales just between Pink Sale and DX Sale alone. Hundreds of tokens launching every single day in millions of places for these apes to go and stuff their beans. Tony, my question for you, brother, is why should the people listening to this AMA ape into Euphoric Bliss, private sale right now, with their beans above aping into anything else that they have the opportunity for?
Well, I guess I can give you 3 reasons, and they're on video with me right now. We have a very solid team, and we're not going anywhere. So these guys are always active, and this is how our video chats look every day of the week when we host them. So we're a team that's very transparent, and you're not going to be looking for who the dev is. I'm the dev, I'm the founder, I'm the CEO, and these are the officers that are part of our company, our corporation. You're not going to get jerked around here, and you're also going to know where your money's going. It's going to a good company. We're funding our corporation, and we're really kicking butt, and we're going to keep kicking butt. But that being said, I mean, you're not going to have to go and chase us through the crypto space to get an answer, and I feel like people are constantly doing that. And the next thing is that, I mean, you've got an address, you know where to come and find me. And soon enough, the phone numbers, everything's going to be out there. So, yeah, I mean, we have nothing to hide. So that's really why you should be with us over anyone else. Please, if you find something, but I mean, there's just nothing to find. So that's literally, that's the best thing I can say is that we're an open book, and that's why you should be with us over anyone else. And I'll take the time out of my day, as will any of these 3 gentlemen, that if you need to have a quick phone call or something, whether you just got in a car accident, no one's answering, you need to call, we'll probably answer for you. But aside from that, I mean, one thing that I want to touch on too, that Darren always brings up and reminds me of, is that after our video chats, we do hold happy hours each week, about 2 to 3 of them actually. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we hold our video chats at 6 o'clock, and we try to follow them up with a little happy hour, like I said, whether it's 30 minutes or an hour or longer. That depends on the community. Where you're welcome to come in and have a beverage if you'd like, or smoke a bowl with the team. So we're very personable. So it's obviously it's down to business, but we're here to be a community too. I like to look at Euphoric Bliss as a family. We're just building.
Family that's doing things differently in the right way. That's something that we want to put down.
We're trying to take you away from your bad parents. We're breaking the trend here, and we're turning things around for the family, if you will.
Yeah, if there's a place to trust anyone, it would be this project here, because we got nothing to hide. Good luck finding something, because you ain't gonna find nothing.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. If you want to smoke a bowl with the Euphoric Bliss team, head over to their TG during happy hour and spark one up with them. But ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude the AMA. I do have to shut this down. You guys are more than welcome to hang out in the VC as long as you would like and chat with everybody. People tend to come out of the shell a little bit more when the recording is off. So, yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much to the Euphoric Bliss team for coming in, to Tony, to Wes, Darren, and Wen Lambo, because I forgot your first name, but I'm going to call you Wen Lambo. Derek?
That'll do. It's Eric with an E, but that's okay.
Eric with an E. All right, cool. Eric, appreciate you also for coming in. Big shout out to the Euphoric Bliss team. I am in Massachusetts, so it would be interesting to see this come to fruition somewhere in a store close to me. God bless America that we can even have this conversation. I'll see everyone tomorrow, and let's do some giveaways.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We gon' fight right up to the party, right up to the party.